Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. NHPUK TV here, John Lawrence on the scene. So I just want to say a few words today. Going up to the Northeast since 2017, early 2017, Justice for Chelsea. And in the past 10 years, I believe that the Northeast has had its worst share of everything. Obviously, there was a big child sexual exploitation rape gang scandal, which came out as Operation Sanctuary. Operation Sanctuary. And I was aware of this pre-2017. That's why I went to the Northeast on the Justice for Chelsea marches, was because of this inquiry. Big inquiry. I'm not sure how many Hawley were convicted. 17 on one. There's been more convictions since then, but this particular time, it's saying 17 men. I think that went up to something like 50 odd. And a couple of things about the case, though, was how they treated the girls to do with Operation Sanctuary. And a while back, and I did show this particular thing on my Facebook at the time, but I got contacted by a member of the public from the Northeast, and her daughter, some report to do with her daughter had Operation Sanctuary written on it, and she'd heard me going on about it. December, when we were at the Northeast, December, when they had a Freedom March, and she contacted me, sent me a copy of the light report, and all I could tell her was that this particular girl wasn't vulnerable, but she obviously had come in contact with girls who were vulnerable and things like that. And you know, this won't ever come out on any police statistics or anything like that, but it came to me through a member of the public in the Northeast. So the scale of it, there is in the particular cases, they'll say there was 20 women who give evidence. What they're saying here over in Operation Sanctuary being 2011, 2014. And really, the way that I'm seeing how other people are involved, that could be 40 people. That there could be victims out there who don't even realize that they're part of this particular ring. They may have had some involvement with these perpetrators, but on a basic level, just like met up with them, not been took anywhere to be raped or anything. So the implications of how many girls that this would affect is a lot more than what you see in the reports, and we know that there's a lot more perpetrators who we don't see in the reports. There was, like, take for instance Rochdale, there was 9 men convicted in the 3 girl scandal when it should be at least 50 men. And this is PAG UK Billy tells me this, and I don't doubt him. It should be 50. In other particular cases where rape gangs have happened and people have been convicted, it's always going to be more. Victoria Agolia, and they knew that hundreds of men had raped her, but in the end, one person got convicted for giving her heroin or whatever, but none of the other people weren't. She went on to kill herself. So, you know, it's a massive thing. And so I started in the Northeast 2017. I'll tell you, I did it. It was a Friday night. I'd seen some stuff on Facebook, and I'd seen Tommy's video come up about Justice for Chelsea. He'd already been on a march. And I decided to go the next morning. I had a quick search up. My ticket was something like 65 quid. And on a Friday, even though I had been paid, but it was a lot of money. And I had about 80 quid on me. And I just went the next morning and got a ticket and went, a return ticket. I turned up at the Charlton's pub in Sunderland early, about an hour early, but I wanted to have something to eat. And round the side was a little cafe at a garden centre. So I went to the cafe, went in, ordered a breakfast. And as soon as I opened my mouth, the woman said, "Oh, what are you doing round here?" I said, "I've just come I've come for the Justice for Chelsea march." And she'd heard of what had happened. She thanked me for coming up, and I ended up getting a free breakfast. You know what I mean? And then I came again. The second time I came, she got some flyers. There were some flyers in the cafe, another free breakfast, some flyers in the cafe. I took about 200 or 300. Then I went out and I passed them out amongst everyone at the Charlton's ready for the demo. And, over the years since 2017, I've really felt welcome in the Northeast. People like Michael Hopper, who's just passed away, 55, my age, always made me feel welcome. And it was the same as like when I met somebody else, said you'll do well as a candidate, and Michael were always telling me, like he'd already run. Yes, of course you can do it, John. You can easily do it. He'd heard me talk about running in elections, and the last time I seen him, he was buzzing because he knew I was starting a party up and getting more into the elections. And things like that off other people are always a good boost to your morale. They're a good boost to yourself and stuff like that. They really do give you a sense of that you can do something. So passed away just the other week, and he was going out with Sharon Binks. Many of you'll know, 55 years old. And they're having a service for him at the crematorium, but it's only small, family and friends. But they are streaming it to a nearby Rainton Arena. That's Rainton Arena. And I'll put the details up. Rainton Arena, Mercantile Road, Horton-le Spring, and they're streaming the service to the arena. 1:30 p.m. I'll just get the address up, and I will update my description with the address. So 1:30 on the 1st of September, Rainton Arena, Horton-le Spring, up northeast, in between Durham and Sunderland. Let me just get the address. £1:30 p.m. Thursday, 1st of September. And I'll just put it in the chat. Yes, Starling. Yes, English Bulldog. So, and also Keith Jenkins up northeast, he got in on UKIP. How did it go now? He applied a week before the election. He had a month campaigning and handing out leaflets, and he won his seat in the ward that he ran in. I have got the ward details somewhere. Red Hill, I think his ward was. And so this is 2019. And at this time, I'm wanting to run as a councillor. So, I can't say enough about the guys in the Northeast, how they're standing up to be councillors and stuff like that. Michael ended up going on the Hetton Town Council team, not in the local government local elections, the town council team. He ended up getting on there. So, and he's just a working class lad. He's not posh or anything, just like me, 55 years old. When I talked to him, he said, "You're just like me, John. Some of the stuff you do, the way you've been brought up and stuff like that." And he always said that. And, I always felt welcome when I went to Newcastle. Really always did. Me and Arlene have stayed all over Newcastle, Stockton-on-Tees, and a few of the areas around Sunderland and Newcastle, at least about 3 or 4. Yes, Roch. Hope you're all right, mate. So like I said, passed away suddenly. And his crematorium, his service is Thursday, the 1st of September, Horton Le Spring. I put the details in the chat. 1:30 p.m. Thursday. But again, I do truly believe, I have said many times on my videos about how the Northeast has been hit. And I mean, besides, we can talk about rape gangs and all that, but we can also talk about our armed forces. The biggest percentage of people who go into the armed forces and that are from the Northeast. It's a big recruitment area for armed forces people. And obviously, we know what's happening with the armed forces. Have forgotten. They're vulnerable. They don't get looked after. It's everyone else before our own. And I've said this. I've showed you the figures and stuff like that. On average, more people go to the armed forces from the Northeast than anywhere else in the country. So it's just and we obviously care about our veterans and that, and who for them is our way of life now. And it could be a lot worse. And all the old timers who fought in the First and the Second World War for us, we should be thinking of them. But yeah, so again, rest in peace, Michael. Big inspiration and boost to people like me who's just getting into politics now. You and Keith, I've talked about the Sunderland and the Northeast plenty of times. I've always given Keith utmost respect because he's standing up to be a councillor and getting voted. And I don't know everything that's gone on up there, but it's a big battle against Labour. You've got groups like Sunderland for corruption in Sunderland, or Sunderland for Sunderland against corruption. But anyway, there's a lot of, and the Labour Council and the big main parties up there are not up there for the people of the Northeast's best services. They're not there for you. They're screwing you over. They lie about you. There's all stuff has been said. I did a media one the other day. Sharon Binks has had media videos done about him. We supported, plenty of us patriots have supported the Justice for Women and Children marches in Sunderland. And I mean, I have to break it down. Like I said, when I go to places, I take notes, and I took a notepad with me that first day. I told people I was just interested in what's going on and I wanted to know more. I told them where I lived in Oldham and said the same thing. In 2017, I was telling people in the Northeast when I talked to them that the same things are going on in Oldham. And they were. We know they've gone on in Oldham. We know there's a child sexual exploitation scandal. I've never said anything different pre-referendum. And I was saying the links between Rochdale and Oldham. I went round showing you, and I said in Oldham, said two of the guys had addresses, and one of them worked in Oldham, maybe worked at this kebab house, and that's the thing, you know. So I looked into it all, and I took a notepad, and I ended up talking to people from Sunderland, and I remember meeting a couple of girls, 19, 20. One of them had a really not out of this world name, a really like rememberable name, but I can't remember it because that many years ago. And she was telling me how it is around the area, a certain area called Rokers as well in Sunderland, a really bad area. How the girls have to be really careful. There's been loads of spikings and things like that of girls' drink. So I talked to the girls who go out in that town, who live in that town. I was there right on the door. I weren't talking to someone who said they're from there on a video. I was actually talking to the people. You know how I work. I want to talk to these people. I want to go and see what's going on. So and you know, like sex attacks and things like that, the spiking of drinks, was all that kind of thing had risen up. And one sec, I'm just going to get something up. So the Operation Sanctuary report that came out 2017 was for like the 10 years before. And this is a clip out of the Sunderland Echo from 2013. Police investigated 253 rapes across Sunderland during the past 3 years. So from 2010 to 2013, which is the prime time of the Operation Sanctuary report. These years are in the Operation Sanctuary report. 253 rapes in 3 years in just Sunderland, and I'm not going to say it's all one particular gang. This is a lot of stuff. This is male on male rape, stranger rape, rape within families, all sorts. It's a wide range of thing. So rape within families, like I said, stranger rape, male on male rapes. But it goes to show you the scale of what was going on. So this isn't Operation Sanctuary. This is a separate report from Sunderland. Operation Sanctuary more defines Newcastle itself area. There was 80 taxi licenses revoked, around 80 taxi licenses revoked. And they're still investigating people from that time, the same as in Rotherham. The investigations still go on. And if Operation Sanctuary said there was X amount of victims, that would have increased by now. So this all shows me how wrongly and how bad the North East has been treated in the past 10 years. You know, so I also I remember meeting Chelsea and Justice Chelsea Rates, a brother as well, and some other of the friends, because I did 3 of their marches. I was an adamant supporter, and I did 3 of their marches. I talked about it. I talked about the case on social media and in videos and stuff like that. And I started doing some of my own videos, but you know, and so I ended up meeting a wide range of people from the North East, and it's always been one of my favourite areas. I have to say, I've said that many times. Have I not already said that many times? But one of my most favourite areas. But again, one of the most worst hit in the past 10 years. Not so much 20 years ago and stuff like that. Rotherham in that time, Oldham, places in Birmingham, Bradford, there was all from the, but in the past 10 years, again, the North East Worcester area, but also it's been one of the best areas for normal people like us getting council positions, like Michael on Hetton Town Council, Keith Jenkins on the local council in Red Hill Ward. So, you know, it goes to show that we can get our council positions. And if I was to go through how well UKIP did in 2019 in Sunderland, it's good. They did really well. If a candidate didn't get in, he was close to getting in. That's how it was. He came second or whatever. But again, a few words for Michael. Thank you, Michael. You've been really good with me. Always talked to me. Always supported me. You give me a few quid every now and then. Thank you very much. And honestly, when I get in as a councillor, you'll be one of the people who I have to thank. And I'll thank you now, and I'll thank you then. And everyone else, Keith Jenkins, another one who's really supportive and pushing to get into counselling. And another one I've had to say that got in before me, so it's only even more of a push to get me running as a counsellor. But this is NHP UK TV on a Sunday. It's all about the North East today. We talked a little bit about Operation Sanctuary. We've talked about other things going on in areas around Sunderland. The Rokers area, that's one of the words I learned first when I went up to Sunderland, was the Rokers area. Them two young girls, that first time when I went up, that's what they were telling me about the Rokers area in Sunderland. And it got really highlighted. I think that Sharon and Tasha and the girls on Justice for Women and Children managed to get the police to increase patrols and stuff like that in these areas through the work in demo. And even though they got painted and branded with them politically correct words, it did end up getting a push to make the police. I'm not exactly 100% sure, but they did, because of their protests, they did get things done to change things how they are in Sunderland. I couldn't tell you exactly how, but I know that they did. So everything that the girls did, Tasha and Sharon and all the rest of the girls and the guys up there, ended up working on their behalf. At least they got some action going with the police. I've also, since I've been up the North East, I've met many other girls who were involved in their daughters have been abused and stuff like that, who work up there catching paedophiles and stuff like that. And I've just, there's not much I can say because I haven't done any of that. And these girls now, these mums, Sharon, Tasha, all the rest of the girls up there are having to do things on their own and push out to get things changed. And I know they've all been involved in catching people, pushing out that this kind of thing has been going on in the North East. And I just can't say enough about them. Like I said, one of my favourite places to go. But yeah, so I've been quite involved in a lot of it and meeting people. The North East are always good at supporting demonstrations and stuff like that. We've had North East people regular visit Leeds and Yorkshire. I've been stood outside court with Tasha's dad on a few occasions and other guys who've always made me feel welcome. Really nice lot. They'll go out of the way for you. When we stayed up there, we stayed with friends in their own houses. That's how it is when we go to the North East. That really is how it is when we go to the North East. But thank you very much for tuning in. Hi, Alistair. I hope you're all right, mate. Yes, Lisa. Oh, nice. I wish I could have come, but I was in Manchester. But well done, English Bulldog. Well done. But yeah, the Northeast, certainly one of the worst hit areas in the past 10 years. I know there's other things going on. I've explained to you about Operation Sanctuary. I told you that one of the founding things of Operation Sanctuary that the survivors and victims haven't had justice for is how they was treated off the police. I have to stress this because it's a big thing to do with Operation Sanctuary. You see stats and statistics, but you don't see how the police have branded all these girls prostitutes, like that girl said to me from Oldham, treating them as criminals, branding them as prostitutes, and all the stuff that we see in every rape gang scandal. That's what happened in the northwest of Operation Sanctuary. I've gone on about it many times. You can Google up and look at statistics yourself to do with it. Everything I said is factual. Like I said, I'll just put it up again. That's a link to the 253 rapes reported. They managed to get that figure. That figure ended up getting down to 200, but it's still, for a 3-year period in such a small area, it's still highly overrepresented on sex attacks. It's above the average, like the countrywide average. So, you know, the girls had to do something. Sharon and Tasha and the rest of the girls involved, Justice for Chelsea, all them families had to do something. Michael was an integral part of that group as well. And like I said, they ended up doing well in elections. There was independent UKIP councillors getting in, like Keith Jenkins. They did well in changing the thoughts of the elections in the northeast, and they're going to keep doing well. The independents and the hyper-local political parties will do well in the northeast. I know they will. They will do well. So yeah, that's the northeast, and that's Sunderland and Newcastle, Middlesbrough, all the areas around it, Stockton-on-Tees, Durham. That's what they're faced with. So again, some of the worst hit areas in the past 10 years. But again, thank you, Michael. When I get my seat next year, I know I'm going to get it now because you're involved, and I know that. I can feel it. But thank you very much, guys. Have a good rest of the afternoon, and I'll catch up with you soon. I don't think I'll be around Thursday, but we'll see. You'll see notifications come up for a stream. But thank you very much, and that was all about the northeast. And big respect to Michael Hopper and everyone else in the northeast is still active on combating the traitorous parties, the cover-ups, and everything to do with our families and our girls and all that lot. Big shout out. And another shout out to Gail at Abs Knox. Get well soon. And we need you back on the scene. Another great figure there in the women in the northeast on what they do and the kind of people who stand up for everything. So get well soon, Gail. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.